One of the hopes I had when I started doing wide stance squats was that I will be able to completely fix my hip pain with just the wide stance squats. Just simply doing squats in a wide stance is going to address it. And the reason why I hypothesized that was because I sort of tested my way through to the understanding of when I do abduction work, so like glute minimus, medius, TFO work, like basically standing leg abductions, throwing the leg to the side, like a karate kick to the side. Doing an exercise like that fixed my hip pain. That was kind of the things that I discovered was the most effective after many, many years of trial and erroring and all sorts. That kind of felt like the best. And then so I kind of led myself down that path to think, okay, so how do I get abductors to work really hard? What is one way to train them through a compound lift? I put the bands on around my knees, the booty band or the hip circle, whatever you want to call it. And I felt my hips feeling amazing with that. And then I thought, well, how do I naturally fight that force where I have to fight the knees out? And then I kind of realized that simply by widening my stance is going to add that moment force requirement to push the knees out. So the wider you go, the more the knees want to drop in. And so when I started doing wide stance squats, I realized that my hips started feeling better and better and better and better. And so I love doing them. And after so many years of hip pain on and off, I started overdosing on the wide stance squats. What surprised me though was that when I went back to narrow for a session or two, I started getting groin pain. So I addressed the hip pain with the wide stance squats, but I kind of developed a new problem by just simply doing wide. And that was that my groin started hurting. And the groin didn't hurt, funnily enough, when I was doing wide stance. It would never hurt in wide stance. Where it would hurt is when I went narrow and deep. The groin kind of got used to the range of motion of the wide stance squats being a little bit, less deep, so going to parallel. And so it almost kind of lost function in my adductors to go full ATG depth in a narrow stance. And so now it's been a few months of testing, retesting, doing single leg stuff, doing this way, that way, every which way. And I've kind of realized that hamstring work, or as we call leg curls and things of that nature, was also addressing my adductors. Like literally I would feel my adductor fire up in the same spot that the pain was when I did leg curls. Today I thought, okay, let me add some hip extension work. So still, it's a hamstring adductor exercise. I'm just using hip extension rather than knee flexion to achieve that stimulus through that adductor hamstring complex. I did the GHD and it felt amazing, as it always does for me. That's just like one of the best movements ever. And I dare say the squats after that felt really, really nice. The slightest sensation of pain, definitely an improvement from yesterday. So again, hamstrings, training the hamstrings, or just simply bending the knee or extending the hip was feeling really good for the groin. So in a way, I could kind of summarize that if I want to keep groin pain away, I need to train the hip extension and knee flexion. And if I simply want to get rid of hip pain, I just need to squat wide. So that's kind of a realization. So I've not had hip pain for quite some time now. And on the days that I did have a bit of hip pain, it was easily resolved with just simply going wide on the squat, and the hip pain will go away. But I can't just do wide stance squats. That produces a weird sensation in my groin. And so now I feel, I never want to sound too confident because I kind of jinx myself. I feel like I found a solution to the original problem, which was hip pain. And now I found a solution to the side effect of the problem-solving exercise, which is wide stance squats. So now the wide stance squats, the helper has been helped in a way. And that kind of feels good. So I will continue to train the hamstrings and the adductors through this hip extension business and leg curls. So today I did GHD, then I did some SSB squats, and then I finished off with leg curls, which I didn't record. So a whole lot of essential groin work, but not groin work in the fundamental sense of it, where you feel like you are adducting. I'm not adducting. I'm simply bending the knee and I am extending the hip, and groin feels good. There you go. Appreciate you guys like always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.